Hi, this is Ushio, and I hope you're doing okay today. And today we're just gonna talk about some manga, hang out a bit, and hopefully have a nice, relaxing time. So, in the last video, I think I was only showing one arm because my shoulder was messed up. Everything's fine now, everything's better. It was just a sprain, and everything is fine. Since then, I have been reading stuff, but I haven't really got the attention span to really do like a proper review. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat, a bit of a catch up, a little bit of news, a little bit of what I'm reading at the minute. Also, because I didn't know what else to do, I had a package arrive. We might as well open it up. Some people would make that like a haul video, but it's just going to be what did I get? Let's have a talk about some of these titles. But first up, there have been all kinds of titles picked up lately, all kinds of announcements all over Twitter and that kind of thing. Far too many for me to get into, and far too many of them I know nothing about. But the one highlight I will mention, Polar Bear Cafe did get picked up by Seven Seas. It's coming out in January. I've got the Japanese volume here. It's kind of as a souvenir. I can't read Japanese, so it just looks nice. It's a nice cover. So it's something to look forward to. As for what I'm reading at the minute, I kind of like bounce between a couple of titles. I kind of like read one chapter, I'll go somewhere else, read another chapter over there. I'm sticking with like the regular digital Shonen Jump kind of stuff. I dip in and out of that. I'm reading Saint Young Men at the minute. It's really laid back. It's really friendly and positive energy, and it's just fun to read. If you haven't heard of it before, it's kind of an odd concept. You've got Jesus and Buddha, the holy figures, and they're kind of like renting an apartment in Japan together, and they just kind of like chill out. They're trying to kick back, and they're kind of charmed by modern Japanese life, and it kind of goes into how their respective backgrounds affect mundane everyday settings. It's very nicely natured. There's nothing particularly controversial about it, despite what you might think in the direction it could go. A lot of creators would probably struggle to not make this like quite controversial, but it's very kind-hearted title. It is funny, and I really recommend it, but it's just something I'm dipping into every now and then. Chapters are quite short, but they're also quite dense with a lot of like talking and dialogue on that. So you can read one chapter, be quite satisfied, put it down, and come back again in a couple of days' time. They are hardback, they're quite nice, 2-in-1 volumes, and for your money, they look a little bit expensive, but it's a lot of reading in there. It will keep you going for quite a while. And I'm only on the second volume. There's lots more to catch up. The other thing, I've sort of fallen a little bit behind with it. I've kind of like discovered High School Debut. Nice 3-in-1 volumes. I really like this format. I know a lot of people complain that they don't like the thin pages, that it's kind of cheap and flimsy. But that's precisely why I like it. It's cheap, it's flimsy. I can buy it without thinking too much about it. I'll get about 500-600 pages for like £10. I think it's $13 these things cost. And if it was just a single volumes I'd come across, I'd probably think twice. But as it's just 3-in-1s, it's only 5 books, so I'm having a lot of fun. If you liked my Love Story, it's the same writer, and she does her own artwork in this one, so this is her own style and her story at the same time. If you like the positive tone and like the lack of simplistic bad guys, everybody's actually quite nice in this story, and everyone's quite nice in this one. And it's just an overall positive tone and sense of humour that kind of goes through it. Like the main couple is pretty obvious. It's that kind of romance. These two characters come together, but the interesting bit is what happens once they're officially a couple. So it gets the obvious stuff out of the way quite early on, and it's how does the relationship develop from that point on. And yeah, I'm halfway through. I'm only on the 3rd volume of the 3-in-1s, so it finishes on the 5th volume, volume 15, and I'm having a lot of fun. So not a proper review. It's just something I'm dipping in and out of, which brings us on to. Hang on, we're not going to open the packages just yet. Just a recent pickup. Just something I bought recently is, wow, I'm fogging up. I can't read. It is called. No, I can't see. I got I need some like unfogging spray, or something. There we go. It's the Music of Marie by Uzumaru Furuya, and I bought this on the blind. It's a nice, thick, chunky volume, and I'm really excited for it because I've read this creator's previous works. So you've probably heard of him because of, in Shonen Jump, there's Genkaku Picasso, which is on the Shonen Jump app. I really recommend it. It's only 3 volumes, So it's really cool. If you're a bit more hardcore, you might know the guy from Shortcuts. It's a gag manga that ran in Pulp magazine back in the day, and it's really strange. And if you're super hardcore, there was that one excerpt that was in Secret Comics Japan. What's it called? Yeah, Palapali is the name of that manga. It's only an excerpt. The whole thing's never been published in English, so it's the only way to check it out. And if you like surrealism, but doesn't take itself seriously at the same time, so there's like a real artistic edge to Furier's work that I find. But at the same time, he's having fun with it too. So that's why I instantly grabbed this, and hopefully it will live up to the other titles that I also enjoyed. Okay, so that's a recent title that I bought. Alright, next up we have got... Where are they? So I've got a couple of packages, and when I bought these a little while ago, it was about midnight. I was about to go to bed, and I'm like, I'm feeling a bit down. I just want to do some retail therapy. I bought some stuff, went to sleep, and the next day I'm like, oh, I've spent money, and I can't remember what I ordered. So, yeah. I don't actually remember what is in these boxes, so it will be things that I've picked out and things that I want to read, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure what I've got. So this will be fun. It's mostly going to be mid-series stuff, nothing too obscure, nothing too, extreme, just like regular manga purchases. So hang on. So I think in this one there's two. I have got... What have I got? I have got The Tale of the Outcasts Volume 4, and I can tell you not very much about this one. I'm quite a bad manga purchaser because I will buy a manga for a rainy day. If I like the look of something, when I've got a bit of money, I'll kind of like quietly in the background, I'll pick up some volumes, and once I feel like it, I'll binge read the whole thing kind of thing. And yeah, Volume 1 kind of caught my eye. If I'm going to be cynical, it kind of looks like an Ancient Makes His Bride ripoff. Hopefully it's more than that. But it's different. It's the one that Seven Seas is putting out, and hopefully it pays off. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Bad start, maybe, for this video. But this is what we're starting with. Okay, the other book in here is... Oh, okay, the box fell. Little Miss P, Volume 4, which is shrink-wrapped. 18 plus only? Is it mature rating? I'm fogging up again. It is a mature rated manga. And I did a review on the channel of Little Miss P a little while ago. And that was just a Volume 1. We're up to Volume 4 now. And they're all stories about Little Miss P, who is like a personification of a period. So once a month you get a knock on the door, Little Miss P shows up, kind of messes you up as she can do. And... That's it. So every chapter there'll be like a different person in a different situation, and how Little Miss P does or doesn't affect their everyday life. And it is played not really for laughs, but in like a relatable sense. And it doesn't matter whether you have periods yourself or not. It's kind of like an angle to appreciate and enjoy that everyone can kind of like read from this. I quite like it. I got a soft spot for it, and that's the other book that was in this package. All right. I have got another one here. It's bigger. Book Depository Special. I don't actually know how many are going to be in here. Maybe 4, 5. So quite a good sized parcel. I think I remember one book that's going to be in here, which there'll be things to talk about for sure. Okay, we have got... Cool. Sorry, I'm just absorbed in what I've got. There are 5 books here. And I'm just trying to get them in an order in which I wish to discuss them, which I don't know. Anyway, this is, I was talking about it earlier, Saint Young Men, Volume 7, which means I'm currently one behind. So again, I'm a bad manga reader. I'm only reading Volume 2, and I've kind of just got Volume 7. So they're on the shelf, and when I'm in the mood and when I'm ready to like absorb a little bit more, I'll get back into that. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, Volume 7, that will be on the shelf awaiting me. Next up I have got, wow, Yakuza Lover. Is this Volume 4? I'm gonna assume it's Volume 4. If not, I've bought Volume 3 twice. No, this is Volume 4. And Yakuza Lover is one of these, like, it's on the shoujo beat line, but it's like a proper josei. It's quite adult, and It's about a young woman who kind of bumps into this Yakuza guy, but she's the kind of girl who's into that kind of guy. She likes someone who's a little bit dangerous. It's really strange to me. It's kind of like I enjoy watching it as an outsider because the guy will walk in and he'd be like, "Oh, I almost got shot today." She'll turn around and she'll be like, "That's hot. Let's go have sex." And that is kind of how this manga seems to go. She's really into it. He's really into her, and they kind of flourish on the danger of their relationship. Not in a forbidden way, but yeah, pure danger. They could be killed at any given moment, which gives yeah, the moment is important, which is why they kind of revel in it. These characters are very strange. They are fun to check out. Alright, so that's Yakuza Lover. Next up I have got Tamama-chan's the Fox, which is volume 4, is this? Volume 4. It's a 4-panel manga. Bad manga reader time. Haven't read any of it yet. Hopefully it's good, otherwise I'm wasting money. Please don't judge me for being this kind of manga reader. I'm not the kind of person who previews stuff online. I like to explore manga, so the majority of my purchases are blind purchases. It's kind of how I like to find these things for myself, based on, you know, what I like the look of, recommendations I've heard, or like publishers that I trust, that kind of thing. So I kind of like always jump in with both feet, and hopefully it will pay off. Sometimes it doesn't, but occasionally I'll find something that's kind of fun. Hopefully this one's a good one. I don't know. Please don't judge me. Alright, next I have got Way of the House Husband. Tried and tested. Lots of fun. And controversial take. I quite like the Netflix show. I thought it was fine for what it was trying to do. It just wanted like little skits, little jokes. And it kind of worked with its limited animation and all that. I didn't have too many issues and problems with it. If you don't know what it's about, it's kind of about a guy who used to be Yakuza, but he's turned straight. I've got 2 manga today that have got Yakuza in them. Cool. But yeah, so he's turned straight and he's like living a regular life as a house husband kind of thing. But he hasn't lost his demeanor of being like a bit of a scary guy. So he's going around like the supermarket looking for, you know, just regular everyday shopping, but he's like checking out the knives and he'll be thinking about how good it would be to stab someone with, even though he just wants it to chop up some veggies. And yeah, it kind of works on this thing. It's sort of like a one joke thing, but it's never a problem. It's still quite fresh. Volume 7, yeah, I wanted it, and I do enjoy it, and I am up to date reading it. I do read manga sometimes, but lately not to the point where I can concentrate enough to make a video about it. So this is a good one. I don't have to think too much, and this will be a fun one to read. And the last one, oh wow, long time coming. What's it called? The Thief, Inoue, Akikazu, and Other Stories by Osamu Tezuka. There's a story here. Oh, Osamu Tezuka and Digital Manga Publishing. There's like a lot of stuff that's happened. So Digital Manga Publishing, they picked up a lot of Osamu Tezuka work. And if you don't know Osamu Tezuka, he's kind of regarded as like the god of manga. And he created a lot of popular works in like the 40s, 50s that are kind of perceived as being formative to how modern manga has developed to what it is today. You know, that kind of thing. It's kind of like an important figure. There are lots of other manga creators from that period who are just as like influential and that kind of thing. But Tezuka is the person who's become more emblematic of that entire generation of creators. So Digital Manga Publishing got a rights to a lot of these ones. There's a definite audience for it. And they put a lot of these things on Kickstarter. A lot of old-time people will know all these stories. But if you're less familiar, I'm going to fill you in a little bit. So instead of like having these titles and then just like publishing them, Digital Manga Publishing decided to put them onto Kickstarter. A lot of people will give them money up front, and then once the book's ready to go, they will then get shipped. Okay, this book was originally part of the Wonder 3 Kickstarter, and when you could add on extra pledges, you could make yourself eligible to get another 7 books, which would have been 8 books total kind of thing. So those 7 books got cancelled, and like a year or so later, they're now being published. A lot of these books that were originally Kickstarter exclusive are now being made available through more regular channels, which is actually it's quite a good thing that everybody can now access these books more easily and not just happen to be there at the time the Kickstarter happened. So yeah, these are coming out finally. Not quite sure why it's in cellophane. It's got 16 plus on the back. Hopefully it's good. Tezuka's always experimental. Not everything he does works, but he would explore stuff, he would experiment, and obviously you're going to make mistakes, especially if there isn't like a proper tested precedent for the kind of thing he's trying to do. So yeah, always interesting to check out. Some people don't like his more like they don't like the retro style, let's call it that. But I quite like it, and I have appreciation of what he's trying to do sometimes. So yeah, and that's everything I've got. Yeah, a bit of a haul video, a bit of a chat about manga, and a bit about what I'm reading lately. I'll try and check out one of these. If there's one you particularly want me to check out, maybe let me know. If I'm feeling a bit more focused, maybe I can read it and do a video about it soon. I do want to get back to doing that video regarding like what was the top 10 manga for 1990 is the next one I need to do. But I've read a couple, and I'm not gonna lie, some of them aren't very good, and I'm really struggling trying to read them. And by the time I do read them, I've forgotten everything else, all the other titles I read before. Maybe I should just do review one at a time and make lots of 10. I'll make like 10 short videos and just edit them together or something. I don't know. But it's on the back burner. I'd like to come back to it when I can. But some of those manga I'm really struggling to make my way through, which, yeah, I need to sort that out. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Everyone's doing fine. Everyone's buying manga. I hope you're getting titles that you're enjoying as well. And that is it for today. Yeah, this is the show signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.